Hello everyone, I am Miss Divya Verma, teacher of Social Science Class 7, Mount Litra Z School Jhansi. So today students we are going to start Geography lesson number 5, that is water. Students, you all must be knowing that water is essential for staying alive. It is useful to us in many ways. About 70% of our earth is water, and water is available on surface in the form of rivers, oceans, seas and lakes also. The main source of water on earth is rain. Do you know how the rain occurs? It is all about of the natural process called the water cycle. Now, what is water cycle? Water cycle we'll be understanding with the story of Annie and Moby. Let us see who are Annie and Moby and what all they tells us about. So, Annie and Moby were playing in the playground. Suddenly, what happened? Let's see. Now, what Annie says, I think it might rain soon. Maybe we should go inside. It's thundering now. Rain is a part of our planet's water cycle. Now, what is the water cycle? Most of the earth is covered in water, but water doesn't just stay in our rivers, lakes, and oceans. Water moves through land and through the air. So, water cycle is the movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. It's a good thing and it's not raining here. Now let's see what Moby and Annie do. Now, you are right, Moby. It's pretty sunny. The sun helps power the water cycle. Now, what happens when water heats up? Let us know. Now, energy from the sun heats up water in lakes, oceans, and other bodies. When water heats up, it can evaporate or turn from a liquid to a gas. Liquid water turns into a gas called water vapor. You can't always see water vapor, but it's all around us. Water vapor floats up into the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is the air surrounding a planet. Question arises, what happens to water vapor in the atmosphere? The air high above land is very cool. As water vapor rises into the atmosphere, it cools down. Then the water vapor condenses or changes from a gas to a liquid. Then tiny drops of condensed water join together to form bigger drops. Then as more drops join together, clouds are formed. You can see. You are right, Moby. The clouds look like sceneries. Clouds can collect and travel across the land. As more water condenses and collects in the cloud, it becomes too heavy to stay in the air. Okay. Now here a question arises, what is precipitation? So precipitation is the water that falls to the earth from the sky. Rain, snow, sleet and hail are all kinds of precipitation. The kind of precipitation that falls depends on the temperature and lots of other things. Again it's thundering, you can see. Then what? When enough water collects in the air and clouds, it begins to fall to the ground. Question comes, what happens to precipitation? Water from precipitation can add to rivers and streams or end up in the ocean. Some water soaks into the ground and stays under the earth's surface. This is called groundwater, which is an important resource. We use groundwater for drinking water, watering crops, and many other things. Some water that falls back to earth's surface flows down to reach rivers, lakes and oceans, and this is called runoff. Then the sun can heat up the water again and the cycle keeps going and going and going and going and going. This is what water cycle is. I think so. Now you get the idea. Now, how can we care for our water? Water is an important natural resource that people, plants, and animals all need to live. But pollution can harm our environment as well. When water gets polluted, it's everyone's problem. Even though most of our planet is covered by water, very little of it is fresh water that we can drink and use. So, it's important to conserve or save water. We can also take shorter showers, turn off the faucet when we are not using it, and tell grown ups when we see a leak. If everyone in the United States saved 1 gallon of water a day, we could save 85 billion gallons of water per year. And that's enough to fill a lake. Annie said, I bet we can find tons of ways to save water, Mobby. Hey, it's great idea. Now, do you all know the water from lakes and rivers is cleaned and treated to remove all types of impurities in a water treatment plant? Now, before sending to our taps, there are some steps involved in the water treatment plants, which are: the water in huge tanks is left undistributed so that heavy insoluble particles settle down, and that is known as sedimentation. And then the clean water above the sediments is passed through a clean sand bed where it gets filtered, and this is known as filtration. Then after filtration, chlorine gases are passed through the water to kill germs, and the chlorinated water is then sent to our taps. The water in our taps looks clean, may actually not be safe for our drinking. So, germs present in the water can be killed by boiling, thus making it safe for drinking. Water can also be filtered through water filter, electronic filters, and remove impurities and kill germs too. Chlorine may also be added to water to kill germs and making it safe for drinking. So students, water is precious and should not be wasted. Wise and traditional use of water is known as water conservation. Collect rainwater and use it for washing clothes and for watering plants. Use the water left in your water bottles to water plants. Get leaking water taps repaired. Do not leave the tap running while brushing. Use the water in which vegetables and fruits are washed to water plants. Even water from the washing machines can be used to clean or wash bedroom floors. This has been clear to you all. So today we started about water, about the introduction part. Then we have seen the topic water cycle, how it works. Okay, so go through the book, go through your LR as well as NCRT book. The topics today I have taught you as well as the further topics. Hope you all understood the covered topics well. Thank you.